when you listen to this, video on Spotify is like way old news. So nothing special anymore. So
hopefully you're already watching it there.
Yeah.
You've already found it.
Yeah, you've already found it. You've seen us.
Speaking of which,
Is it episode 3 and on that have it?
4.
4 and 1.
I updated all of them though. So I believe as of here in a couple hours, like all of us, all the episodes should be live.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So they are retroactive.
Yes. I replaced all the files. So. Yes. These stickers are going to be so distracting the whole episode. I need to just get rid of them. I love them, dude. These are sick.
Yeah, they're pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yes. So welcome to the Okayest Cook podcast. This is episode 7. Today we're talking about turkeys.
It was a little
Of course he did.
gem.
And I sound a little funny
Because he's got his,
because I've been soaking on my my turkey call. I was going to do it live on the podcast, but I don't think I want to.
You don't want to see how good you are.
I have not been practicing as well.
I have mine in my car, and I've been practicing.
Ooh, so you're going to go get it? And
No, I'm
show
not.
Show us how we're doing. Andy just got his first
did.
turkey call.
did.
And
I think I'm using the
he's
slate
making
call
noise.
this year.
You're making
Yeah.
noise.
Well, and so
Really?
I've come a long way since I
Yes.
was
gross.
I showed Chris a couple of
Get out of your zone. son.
of videos of mine of my first set of calls, and they were really bad.
Okay, you got to send those my way because I need
yeah.
some encouragement too. So
But honestly, if you leave it in your truck or leave it in your car, and just like when I'm in the car, I'll pop it in my mouth and just practice.
Just practice.
The
Yeah.
more comfortable you get with it, I feel like it's becoming easier. I don't think I'm any good at it, but
Yeah. So buddy, I don't know if we're getting ahead of schedule or not here. I don't know what we're talking about today.
Either way.
But a buddy said that so it's really hard to hear yourself when you're calling turkey, waterfowl, all the things. So a buddy of mine once recommended to me, hey, just put your phone on the other side of the room, go back to your chair, do some calling, go back to your phone, and like listen to that audio recording of yourself. And that gives you a better flavor of what you actually sound like.
I have a cheat code this year. My uncle's going to go out and call for me.
There it is.
that's what you need.
Yeah,
right
I need
there.
buddy.
partner call.
I'm
Anybody.
excited. Bad luck or good luck, however you want to look at it. My daughter was born on opening day of turkey last year, so didn't get
That's
to go
right, you didn't
hunting.
get to go.
Yeah, so this is my
Are you going
first
this
year
year?
back.
Yes.
Going on opening day. So
Nice. Okay.
Already took off work.
Yes. Well, hey, we I forgot to introduce you guys. So, backing up, where you got me all out of whack here. Andy coming in with the
Presents.
sweet merch, like really
Yeah, man.
threw off my game here. So yes, welcome to the Okayest Cook podcast. I'm Chris Wanseller, the host, and today I'm introducing the other dudes sitting around me, and I'm going to introduce them ranked by who I think can bowl a turkey, because we're talking about turkeys. We have Corey Cole, Andy Heiser, and Colton Heiniger.
It's probably an accurate listing.
Yeah.
I think.
I feel all right about it.
I don't know anything about any of your bowling skills, so all I know is I've bowled one turkey in my life, and I was pretty proud. But I screwed up the 4th. So, do you know what a turkey is?
I have no idea,
Are you serious?
which is probably why that list is
Well,
accurate.
then I hope that Corey's at the top of that list. It's 3 strikes in a row.
Yes.
So if you get 3 strikes in a row, it's a turkey.
Safe to say I've never done that. So
But you've gone bowling, right?
I have gone bowling once or twice. So
Wow.
All right, there it is.
Does it count in duck pin?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
I
almost
guess.
harder. You gotta.
Do they have the video screens?
get
where, like,
the-
do
So
they
hard.
show
You got to
them?
get
So
the
much
rope
harder.
to swing around. We just did duck pin bowling a couple weeks ago. It was fun.
There it is. There's our introduction and ranking. Way out of whack here. So with that, let's just jump into notable meals. What did you guys eat? I have a crazy one, but it like segues really nice into the rest of the episode, so I'm gonna go last.
Okay.
Dibs on that.
I can go first this week.
Hit it.
I actually did. I can't remember if Andy's talked about it before, but Hank Shaw's got an Italian pot roast recipe, and Andy has talked it up
Yeah, that's the one.
to me
Yeah,
a
that's what you
lot.
made?
And he said,
A few episodes ago.
That's the one. What's that?
That's the one you made a few episodes ago.
Yes.
Yes, he doesn't know.
okay, so,
I don't remember.
so this
Yeah.
is maybe a repeat.
Well,
but
I've made it several times because it's like
Okay.
it makes the list
Nice.
constantly. Like
That's the one you brought, though, right?
No, because we did
You don't
stew.
Oh, that's
We
right.
did stew. We didn't do the pot roast. We didn't do the. He's talking about an Italian roast.
That's right.
yeah, which
just something
is
different.
different for me. I've done a lot of pot roasts. I've never done an
Yeah.
Italian roast, and it was different. You explained it a little bit too, but
Yeah.
everything's kind of not pureed, but chopped up real small versus like a traditional pot roast. So it's more like a roast and like a tomato type sauce.
Think of it like a really hearty tomato sauce.
Yeah.
That the roast sits in, and then I mean it goes so well over pasta. So
I put it on pasta. I put it on rice. I ate it plain. We put it on sourdough.
Yeah.
And my wife was a big fan, which is always a plus.
Nice.
It's one of the, it's like, as we know, Krista is not a fan. It is one of, well, I don't know spoilers, but there's another thing I got to eat too. But it's the one thing that she'll eat that's made with venison.
Oh.
So.
And one shout out to a previous episode I have to do talking about this pot roast is if you have not listened to episode 3, Browning Meat, go back and listen to it because I used the techniques that we kind of talked about and learned a bit on that episode, and it was hands down the best pot roast I've ever had in my life. So
yeah.
Nice. So it applies to roasts and whole cuts as well as just your
Everything,
standard ground meat.
For sure. Well, normal transition here over to a Colton dish that I tried out of one of our podcasts that we had recorded. Colton in the past has talked about smash burgers, and I believe it was on the Browning Meat podcast. And so I gave Colton's over onion used smash burgers a go, and they were phenomenal. And Krista actually ate those as well.
There you go.
So.
Stepping up.
Another thing that she'll eat, but they were delicious. What did you call it? Like is it Oakland, Omaha style or something?
I think I said Oklahoma style. I don't know if that's accurate.
Okay. But they were really good. There's a lot of onions in them, but it tied it together nicely, especially with the venison. It was so good. So that was one of the things we had. Then again, like anytime I can convince the wife to give it a go, and she enjoyed it, so it was good.
Yeah, awesome.
So how many patties per burger?
So I did 2 patties on mine.
Yeah.
But she had singles on hers.
Yeah. Ooh, it's a Colton that you don't like bread with your burgers? Is that what you said at one point?
I don't like buns.
She doesn't like buns.
Oh, jeez.
Plain meat and all the way.
All right, Corey, what you got?
Mine's not as cool. I did air fryer PB&J's this week.
What?
Whoa.
Kids are on spring break, so
PB&Js?
listen, man, it's a game changer.
Is this like a grilled cheese? What are you talking about?
Yeah,
Is that like
I
a
mean,
explain
pudgy
it here.
pie?
I mean, kind of, yeah. I mean, you can do, and the easy way to do it is Uncrustables,
Okay.
because you can just throw them in whatever. I did legit, PB&J's. For the girls were just regular, but on mine I had a slice of banana on there as well. We keep our air fryer pretty much at like 400 degrees, like almost
Like
never comes
24/7.
off-
Just always
never
on.
comes off 400 degrees
Yes.
for about 7-8 minutes.
Interesting.
It was good. Have you ever had even a grilled PB&J?
No, I haven't.
Man,
I mean, I
it's
like
not-
melted peanut butter on my toast, but
I don't
That's as
know
far
if
as I've
this
gone.
is the actual name. This is what my dad always called them growing up. Have you guys heard of pudgy pies? Like
Oh,
on a
yeah.
fire? Okay.
oh yeah,
So my dad would do pudgy pies, but
we need to do
PB&J.
it. We need to do a full on episode on camp food.
Camp food.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
But yeah, so I maybe have had something similar. He would dip both sides in sugar though.
Oh, okay.
Can you do that?
That
Yeah.
sounds good.
But with
Yeah.
peanut butter inside instead of like your traditional.
Now we know why it's
Pie
called a
filling.
pudgy pie.
Yes. Oh, they are very pudgy.
Yep.
Yeah, well, I'll save it for the breakfast or the camp food episode. But like a breakfast pudgy pie is to die for. To die for. Yes. So so my food of the week is more weird stuff I saw online. I guess I'm just finding things online that I can't top in my own kitchen. It's like everything I make like pales in comparison to what I'm finding online. It's a bunch of weird stuff. So apparently this year there's a crazy big cicada hatch. And who at this table has thought about like eating bugs?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Where do you sit on this eating bugs? So there's a guy I found on Instagram, and I neglected to write down his account. But he does like fried cicadas, and I'll be honest, they look pretty darn good. And like
They look good.
actually, well, they don't necessarily look good, but like reading about like some of the flavor profiles, like the cicada is actually in like the lobster family. So if you have like a seafood allergy, it's probably not the best idea to eat cicadas, but like they actually have like a nutty kind of a seafoody, shrimpy.
I could see him
vibe.
having a nutty.
This is
flavor,
all
yeah.
so foreign to me. I have no idea if you're telling the truth or
It's
not.
no, it's 100% legit. I mean, from what I've read, I've not tried it myself. I really want to. So Purdue used to do. They still do the bug bowl, where it's just like it's like a fair, and there's just millions of bugs, like bug topics. And my dad used to bring us. He taught biology my whole life, and we went a few times, and they used to have a tent kind of dedicated to eating insects. And like we could do a full-on episode about eating insects because it's like super sustainable. Ants. Like
I mean, I've had that. I mean, those are like but
the
like
protein is just like skyrockets.
The cricket protein is a known thing. Like there's a lot. It's oftentimes for people who have issues with like whey protein.
Yeah,
they'll use
the fried cicadas.
I don't know.
Chris, if you make these, I would try.
When they start hatching, seriously, if you find some. So apparently you can eat them at any stage, but apparently they're best like right when they emerge from the ground, and they're still kind of white. So before they've like developed their like true black cicada look, where their wings are hard and their shells are hard. Apparently they're like extra tender.
Well, we got the 7
white.
and the 13 years hitting this year, so
there's a lot of them coming.
Yes.
Yep. So we're actually doing I'm building a frame over my garden, doing
To
netting.
protect it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So if you guys find some cicadas, bring me one. Hopefully it'll still be white. They turn hard pretty quick, so you got to rush it over to me, and I'll fry it up, and we'll share it together. It's very
first.
Yeah, you go
I will
first.
try first. Yeah, like it's a very taboo topic, like a lot of the things we like to discuss here, but like only in America. Like there's tons of other cultures that like thrive on insects because they're so easy to maintain and just so much cheaper than beef. But you know what else likes to eat cicadas? Turkeys. Yeah, so let's discuss turkeys, and it's another weird thing. This has been sitting on my lap this whole time.
Oh, that's weird.
I got the fanciest cookbook I own. This thing, we can do some ASMR.
It feels
But
fancy.
It is a
You could
it's a
hear the-
cloth cover.
Hear the quality.
Like I'm nervous to pass this around because I don't want dirty fingerprints getting on it. But this is the Turkey Book by Jesse Griffiths. Photography by Jody Horton and Sam Everett. It is stunning. This book, I mean, I'll let you guys flip through it. But first of all, Jesse is just phenomenal.
Yeah.
Phenomenal cook. Just like I love listening to him. I love just anything he has to put out. And he did the Hog Book. And this is his second book, the Turkey Book.
Is he the chef in Texas?
Yeah, I believe he's in Texas.
Okay.
He's connected with Meat Eater.
Yeah.
But-
He likes to. A lot of his restaurants are like he's got one or two. It's either all of them or one of them is fully dedicated to only utilizing everything from Texas. Like everything in the restaurant.
yeah.
is
Oh, that's
from
awesome.
Texas.
Yeah. But this book
very
is
nice.
like just chock full of recipes. I've barely cracked it open, but I'm super excited to hopefully, knock on wood, shoot a turkey this year.
Did you get one last year?
I did not. No. So I'm really, really hoping that I'm, this is my third year in a row that I've kind of, this will be the third year. Let me repeat that. So I shot my first bird 3 years ago, and I've struck out the past 2 years, but I've come danger close the past 2 years. Like 2 years ago, I literally sat under a roosted bird, and I could literally see him gobbling like right above my head. And I easily could have shot him from the tree, like at the crack of dawn, like at legal shooting. But there's something in me. It's like, it's that like taboo topic. Like, do you shoot a bird out of the trees? Like, I just can't do that. So he flew, and actually he was making this sound when I walked up. It's a putt putt sound. That it might not be this specific sound, but like they kind of putt when they're nervous. And so like when I was walking up in the pitch black darkness, I heard that, and all I thought was just, crap, I just screwed my hunt, because like he heard me coming in, and I thought for sure like he would forget that I was there, but fat chance. No, he remembered.
He remembered.
When he flew off the roost, he was gone. Like just, yeah, he was out of there.
Have you been out?
I went with Chris last year.
Yeah.
And we had a lot of fun. trekking all
We
of
did some
Chris's
walking.
stuff around the woods. I was his carry boy of all the things, and didn't have any luck. I mean, we heard a lot of gunshots. It was a good time. I really enjoyed it.
Well, we heard that bird behind us to the left a little bit, and then he gobbled a couple times, and then we heard a shot.
and then we heard a shot, and then no more gobbling.
But we were confident he was coming towards our calls.
It was
He
our
definitely
calls
liked the way we
that-
sounded.
Yeah, correct. That's what was happening.
Were you on public?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then in Texas, I did get to shoot at a turkey with my bow, and not knowing what I was doing, I aimed poorly, thought I hit it, got excited, was like, I'll just go get him now. But he took off running. I'm like, I didn't go chase him. Like, my whitetail instincts kicked in, and I was just like, I'm just going to hang out and wait for him to die. And then I was like, oh no, I have to go get him. That's right. So by the time I took off, I couldn't find him. Got some feathers out of it, but really cool opportunity. We were hog hunting. I heard a gobble. We ended up making a couple of just like loud hoots, just making noise, and got him to gobble back. And then
That's awesome.
he was shot calls, and he started coming in. We're able to get him called in to about 20 yards, and then stood up out of the grass with the bow, shot. Thought it was a good shot, but apparently there's a lot of feathers on turkeys.
They are quite puffy.
I've done a little bit more research this year, so I'm a little more prepared. But we are actually going back.
So archery's tricky. Like, what did they say to aim for?
So if you they have different broadheads. So we're again. So
Let's find a turkey picture here.
yeah. So there's a turkey picture.
There should be.
You can find a real one.
Keep talking.
So there's with archery and turkeys, there's a couple different ways to go about doing it. They have broadheads that are super long mechanicals, basically that come out super far. And the idea with that is that you aim at the neck and head to try to just sever the spine like you would with a shotgun. So it's similar placement to a shotgun.
Brutal videos.
But there's
with
some
these
crazy
shotguns.
videos. It's a much smaller shot though, right? So if you're in a blind and you've got a decoy 10 yards away, kind of an easier shot to make that happen.
Yeah.
However, you can use a standard broadhead like you would use for whitetail, and in which case, the recommendation is to aim more for the body and chest to try to get
Gotcha.
Heart.
to get the heart, just to get through the heart. Yeah.
Okay.
Because as you guys know, they're tough birds. So if you don't get them in a kill shot zone, they'll go away. Like they run like crazy.
Yeah.
There's some funny videos of people chasing the birds.
the video you sent me, yeah.
Of people chasing
So I've
birds.
heard something a little different. I mean, yeah, obviously shooting the heart head is a good strategy. Aiming for the heart though, like you're gonna risk tearing up the breast. So I've heard, and there's like I couldn't find a good picture in the book. We'll have to look online, but apparently like there's like when their wings are down, there's like a change in the color of the wing, and I've heard I think if you aim at that change of color, that is basically like you're going to break their legs with your arrow. And so the goal is that like you break their legs, and they can't fly unless they can jump.
Right.
And they can't run if their legs are broken. So you break their legs, and they're basically just stuck where they are. And then you would go out and finish them off.
Right. Yeah. Again,
I don't archery turkey. Like I'm bad enough with the shotgun. So we'll cross that bridge at a later date.
Yeah, no, so it's a hog hunt with an opportunity at birds if we stumble into them. So
yeah.
excited.
Yeah. Well, so year 2, so last season, again, I got danger close on a bird. I did Andy's spot and stock, or Colton. Colton likes to spot and stock. So I went out with you once before, and you got real bored, like just hanging out by a tree.
Yeah. I slept in your truck that last
That's
day.
true. Yeah, you slept in the truck, and I went out a lot further in. So initially, like I just don't know how loud a gobble is, and so I needed to hear a gobble like in my face to really know, like, I hear a bird. Like, how far away is he? I hear a bird. How far away is this bird? So, and like the year prior when I spooked that bird out of the tree, like I heard a bird like 20 feet away. So like now it's like in my brain, like I know how loud a turkey gobble is. So that morning, nothing, like 0 gobbles. I heard 1 gobble, but it was like on the other side of the reservoir. So kind of no good for me. And just kind of did Colton's like running around vibe. So like now that I know these gobbles, I know ish like how loud this gobble is, how far away the bird is. I heard some gobbles off in the distance the other way, and so I get chucking after them. And I try spot number 2, spot number 3, spot number 4, like keep striking out. Like everything's just going quiet. And it's like 10 or 11 in the morning at this point. And I'm set up in a field. My decoy is like right in front of me in like a plowed bean field or something. And behind me, this turkey starts gobbling, and he is just hammering, just gobble, 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 gobble. And I'm like, holy crap, like, what is this guy doing? But he sounds pretty far away. So I just pack up all my crap, and I go into the timber, probably 100, 150 yards into the timber, and it's kind of hilly. And so I get to the point where, like, I'm at the top of this hill. I have to go down a valley, up another hill, and I'm pretty sure he's down that next valley. So I get on a tree, I get all situated, I get comfortable, and I get up my pot call. It's a brand new pot call. A local guy, JT calls. Love his mouth calls. I'm not good at it, but like I've had the best luck with his calls. I bought one of his slate pot calls, and still, like, again, super new to all the turkey calling things. Got that pot call out. I went to scratch it and made the loudest yelp I think I've ever made. And that turkey shut up instantly. And I was like, oh, I needed to go like the opposite. Like I needed to go like just like super, super quiet.
Yeah.
I waited for half an hour. Like on the dot, 30 minutes later, another gobble. It's like he like literally didn't move for half an hour. He just probably was sitting there, be like, I know there's a hunter. Like I need to sit here until this hunter pops his head over this hill. One more gobble and then just nothing for like an hour. And I was just too nervous to go look over the hill. And, but he was like I'm just based on how loud his gobble was, like he was in range like that whole time. There was just a huge hill between us. So
this will be my first year going out, actually.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I've just thought, man, sports or something's always been in the way of it and not been able to get out. So
dude, it's intoxicating.
This will be my. I've gone out and sat with my dad before, but this will be the first year I get to actually go out. My uncle said that he's just one of those dudes. He bags everything he hunts like within the first couple of days. He's just one of those guys. So he said that he would, as soon as he bags his, he would come over and call for me. So
right on. Yeah.
Yes, I don't know what it is, but just like,
man,
just hearing the gobbles. It's
Even
just
if
like,
you don't get anything, it's still fun.
oh my gosh.
when I got to, because we heard him when I was with you, and so then when I was down in Texas, and I was with my buddy Nick, and he doesn't know anything about turkeys at all. So, you know, watching the birds come around the tree line, and then visibly watching him gobble was
crazy.
Intense. Like the reason they call them thunder chickens for a reason. I mean, it's way louder. For those of you who don't hunt, it's way louder than you think.
Oh yeah. I've seen so many of them when I'm hunting other things and they're not in season.
Right.
They're everywhere.
We had that whole
they're freaking everywhere.
gang that came through on our turkey or on our whitetail hunt.
Yep.
They're everywhere when you're not hunting them.
Right.
But I did see there's a guy, I cannot remember his page that I follow, but he said they're one of the birds, man, that like they notice when things are different. You cannot. So? Oh yeah, he's like, man, my truck will be parked 180 yards away, you know, tucked away, and I've seen birds spot me and turn around. And whether that's true or not, but I mean, this guy is a turkey hunter. He knows, like, I mean, this dude is like in it. I mean, most of his
I
page
trust
is about
people that have turkeys on their walls, but
most of his stuff is about turkeys, and he said that, man, you've got to wear camo with those guys.
yeah.
You can't wear your blues and stuff like that out there. The jeans.
Well, I know, but movement is like infinitely more critical than with whitetail.
Yeah.
Because you're on the ground.
Yeah.
Like 100% of the time. I've got another buddy who's like equally into turkeys, and he's kind of the opposite. Like, you know, with whitetail, like you really shouldn't, you can't really get away with like just throwing up a blind the day you hunt, because the deer, like they pick up on that for sure.
Right.
His opinion was turkey.
2 years in a row I've done that and dropped a buck. So
for real? Okay.
I would have to disagree.
It's all situation.
Well, yeah.
But so my other buddy Mitch is like, yeah, turkeys just don't care. Like you can throw up a blind and like they don't care.
That's interesting.
But he's got a decoy and like he's he knows where the birds are roosting.
But that's a lot of what you're doing though. Like you're going out when you're sitting at the base, you're clearing out your spot, you're getting the leaves away, you're clearing that space for you to be quiet.
Yeah.
So I mean, I get it. I mean that makes sense
Hmm.
because you're going to do that if you're going to go out to different spots.
Yeah. Well, we'll write in with your turkey opinions. Are turkeys smart enough to see your blind?
Absolutely.
Tell us your turkey opinions because we don't know what we're doing.
Nope.
There's a reason, and let's get into the food here. There's a reason why I eat way more farm-raised domestic turkeys than I do wild turkeys because I've only shot one wild turkey.
We have some good options around here though that provide them.
Yeah, wild or farm turkeys?
Farm raised.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yes, I don't.
I'm not a fan of turkey, so I'm here for you guys today.
No,
But
dude, I think in a previous episode I might have mentioned that like steak and eggs might be my last meal of choice, but I think I've changed my mind, and I think like a Thanksgiving turkey is going to be my last meal.
gross.
No,
So
dude,
I have to agree with Chris here. I
so good.
was not a fan of turkey before this year, but I smoked my first turkey and
That's what
brined
you
it,
gotta do.
and it
100%.
was phenomenal.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I changed my tune, Andy.
question-
Maybe you will
I'll
too.
take your guys' steak and eggs.
Question for you two then, before we jump into the meat of things: dark meat or white meat?
Oh, dark meat, hands
Ooh,
down.
dark. I like it all.
Dark meat. I
Yeah, I
cannot
can't.
stand the
If
white
I'm
meat.
forced to eat it, then dark meat. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited about. I'm excited about getting a turkey of a wild turkey of my own because I want to know how different it is because of how you change my
Very
tune
different.
on. Like you specifically have changed my tune on goose and my first duck came with you as well, and the duck breast was so good that
So good.
you know. My hope is that maybe I just don't like farm raised turkey, and that maybe
Could
I'll
be.
find a good way to like wild turkey. Or again, we'll just further clarify that I don't like turkey.
If you don't like plump, juicy turkey, and you prefer like a lean, dry, wild turkey.
Man, I'm just not a fan of turkey in general. But I'm not a fan
That's
of
surprising to
Thanksgiving
hear
food.
you say because like when you first approached me saying like, "Hey, I want to hunt."
It was not turkey though.
No. You approached me and said, "I want to hunt turkey."
There's no. You're thinking of
You
someone else.
No, that was 100% you because the turkey protein, and I can pull it up on my text. Like you sent me this chart of what wild animal has the most protein.
And I guarantee it was venison.
Turkey.
I
is
don't
number
know.
one.
You must have a different. Andy
I'm
in
gonna
your
have to go
phone.
way back
Stay
in the text
tuned.
chain.
If you find that in your phone,
Yes.
well, so my
Coming to you on
confidence.
a coming soon episode
Yeah,
of
on
the
a
data
reel
for this.
coming to you. No, so my birthday is November 28th, and Thanksgiving falls on my birthday like every 7 years.
Ooh, lucky duck.
No, it's not. For a lot of years growing up, my family, people get to like pick what you want for your birthday dinner, right? Nuh-uh.
Never
not
turkey.
when your birthday's on Thanksgiving. You get to have whatever we're having for Thanksgiving, which
I
is
would
typically
have 2 turkeys, one for Thanksgiving and one on my birthday.
Absolutely not. So when you're forced to eat it, and like that's what your birthday did. I'm not a fan, man. I'm also like, here's the thing though, guys. I
That's
don't
sad.
like the home cooked like mashed potatoes, corn, turkey, like the traditional like American food like that is not my favorite cuisine. I love steaks. I love seafood. I love trying spicy stuff. I love Oriental food. Love sushi. Love Italian food. I love food. Just that's not my favorite cuisine.
Just not American turkey.
No. So again, you can have all of my turkey, buddy.
I will take it.
Perfect.
Yes. Let's chit chat about the differences here between wild turkey and domestic. And I'm going to try and like ignore my text chain with Andy here, trying to dig up my proof.
He's not going to find it.
100%. I'm going to find this. He wanted turkey. But yes, like what? Have you guys had wild turkey?
Mm-hmm.
Those of you who have not.
Yep.
I've never had it.
Okay.
I have yet to bag my first turkey, so this is the year.
I didn't share anything with you? I guess like when did we like start this whole like wild game thing? Like it was probably
You had a lot of goose though. when
2
we started.
2 years
Did I?
ago.
Yeah.
2
You
years
had a lot
ago.
of goose meat.
no. I think I made.
Oh,
So the
you made
recipe
soup.
that I'm going to share with you guys tonight, or with the crew, with the listeners, I think I made that for the first wild game dinner we did.
Was it?
It's like
It was like a soup that you pulled it out of and made tacos.
kind of a soupy.
Oh yeah,
a soupy
yeah,
turkey.
yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
we did have that.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
wild turkey legs.
Okay,
Yes,
so I
it is.
have
Yep.
had wild turkey.
Yes, we have.
Yeah. So, and I think that turned out pretty good.
That turned out amazing.
Dude,
And
look-
I just talked to somebody that hunts turkeys every year, has shot quite a few, and they never saved the legs because
you
they
gotta.
said they're inedible.
No.
But Chris will prove you
They are
wrong.
wrong.
So.
Well, Neal Brown, Chef Neal Brown, he's a local, dare I say, celebrity. I love him. He's an awesome guy. He's the guy that helped cook for the BHA from Field to Table event, like,
Oh,
and their
cool.
food. Oh my gosh,
He's
their
the Goose
food
in the
was
Market guy?
so good.
Yeah.
No, he's not Smoking Goose.
Oh,
That's
Smoking-
Chris Ely.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So Neal's just like he's the one that kind of started the Fisher's Test Kitchen.
That's right. That's
and
right.
then so he's had a bunch of different projects in the past, but yeah. So Neal gave me this recipe when I asked him, what I should do with my wild turkey, and it just oh gosh, it was banging. It was good turkey
It was
recipe.
very good.
But we're gonna save that for the end of the episode. We're getting ahead of ourselves here. But yeah, difference between wild turkey, domestic turkey. Who wants to sound off on some of that? So I can keep digging for Andy's
Not it.
text.
I think
Corey.
the biggest difference is, when you've got a turkey that's just on a farm that's, maybe traveling 20, 30 yards a day at most,
If that.
Mm-hmm.
compared to a turkey that's, who knows? And that's probably some good research to have is how far their kind of grounds, their roosting grounds go. Because I'm sure those guys just travel so much space.
The wild turkeys.
Yeah. So you're gonna have a leaner meat in a wild turkey, and which makes more sense for wild game. Anything that's wild is going to be a leaner.
Well, it's running.
because it's running.
Yeah,
and
it's not being given
so-
food.
yeah,
Well,
exactly. That's the other
When it's
thing.
being chased by
it's-
predators
yeah.
and humans and
And that all plays into how you prepare it then too, because
yeah.
that's, the same thing with most wild game. People that say they don't like it, it's probably because you're preparing it wrong. And Andy said that before, Chris has said that before, Corey said that before. And with turkey specifically, you can't, I shouldn't say can't, somebody will prove me wrong here, but you're not just going to take your wild shot turkey and cook it like a store-bought Thanksgiving meal
No.
and cook it as a whole bird
Right.
most of the time. Has anybody here done
Jesse talks about that in his book. I don't think he talks about cooking a whole bird.
that? Okay.
Well, he talks about cooking a whole bird, but not
Or
As a
breaking
whole bird.
breaking
Yeah,
it
he's
down.
breaking it about. Yeah.
Breaking it down. Yeah.
Because like a domestic, you can turn out a really good product.
Yeah.
Cooking a whole bird.
yeah.
Mhm.
I've
It
never
works.
I've never had wild turkey besides that one time with you, so
Yeah.
I assume that would not work for a wild turkey.
Yeah, it's very very different. Yeah. You definitely want to break it apart and cook it very differently.
Yeah.
breast and
Anytime
legs
my
and-
uncle's brought it to Thanksgiving, it's always it's always been in different profiles based off what part of the bird he was preparing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because they run for a living. Like their legs
Yeah.
are going to be more muscular, way less fatty, way more like their tendons are just like out of control. So yeah, you definitely need to handle that way different than
Right.
you do, domestic turkey.
But like that recipe that you made for us, I as you guys know, I'm a huge fan of shanks. So and I do it a lot. I almost brought you guys some tonight because I made some shank over the weekend, and I feel like if you could just know how to cook it, like going back to the preparation of low and slow, and like I would assume it breaks down very similarly
Yeah.
too. Just
Mhm.
you have to just give
Yeah.
it the time it needs to actually become something edible, quote
Yeah.
unquote, and then delicious.
I
Cook
do
properly.
think like you hit the nail on the head, like edible. Like if you cook it like you would a domestic turkey, like it
It's
will
not
be
going to
good.
be.
Like
Yeah.
it'll be rock hard. It'll be kind of nasty, kind of gross. Get Jesse's book. Like again, I haven't read much of it, but like the guy's a master. He knows what's going on. And Jesse's book will help you through cooking wild turkey. I've had one to cook, so I am definitely not an expert.
Hopefully we have 4 more after,
Yeah.
after this season.
Yeah, after
Yeah.
this season, we'll have 4 more
Yeah.
birds that we'll be cooking and sharing with you guys. But so Thanksgiving turkeys or domestic turkey, like,
Right.
because like I don't. Did you want anyone to research like how did turkeys become the Thanksgiving meal? Did we
not.
dig into that? No.
No.
So I will say I looked up a little bit about it just because I was curious. I feel like everyone these days says, "Oh, turkey wasn't at the first Thanksgiving meal. That came way
That's what I've
later.
heard.
And there's not really evidence either way. And
Okay.
turkeys were prevalent in the area, so
Mm-hmm.
it maybe wasn't the main item they ate, but there's definitely a chance there was turkey at that first meal.
My guess would be venison and probably a lot of fish.
Venison and corn and fish is what I kind of read were the mains. So
Yeah.
spot on.
It's not corn. It's maize.
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 Okay, maize. Okay. Yes. Yeah. So scratch Thanksgiving. We're not going to talk about that anymore. But how are you guys cooking your turkeys? Do you got any tips, preferences?
I don't.
Andy doesn't count. He doesn't like.
No, I'm here for you guys. I mean, I love the idea of cooking, and that's the thing. Like, it's one of the things. The thing I will say I like about the Thanksgiving birds and like you're making an actual turkey, is the. I mean, it is a lot of work. It's a manned process. I'm saying like to actually make a real bird and like keeping it moist and like to do that really well. It's an art, and I do have a lot of respect for that. But one of the things that I feel like my brother-in-law Frank has done in the past for Thanksgiving, and these are the Thanksgivings I remember, like, okay, the food is really good, is he smoked a turkey breast. So he bought a turkey breast, not the whole bird,
Domestic turkey breast,
and had smoked it, and it was phenomenal, game-changing, different.
Okay.
That was the way to go about it for sure. But again, I have no business. I've never done a whole lot of actual cooking with turkey other than when the ground turkey that I make into tacos.
My uncle he used to always make the turkey for Thanksgiving, and he always would do a Coca-Cola
Like a brine or marinade?
brine marinade.
Okay.
It would sit for, I think he said he'd sit it for at least 2 days in Coca-Cola. So I started experimenting with that, and I love orange Fanta with it. So I'll just do a lot of like orange Fanta infusion with it, like with butter and stuff like that. One thing that I do want to try this year, and I got so BJ's had a thing where you could you come on a certain day and they give you a free turkey. So we'd already got our turkey, so we went there.
Mine.
No way.
Yeah. So we went up and
Text
got
me next time that happens.
Do you have a BJ's membership?
No.
It's worth it. I mean, it's way
For free
better.
turkey, I might.
Well, it's way better in Costco and Sam's Club, in my
Okay.
opinion. The produce is just fresher.
Nice.
And it's never busy ever.
It's cheaper too.
Cheaper. I really like it. So we got a free turkey.
Nice.
So my plan is, have you seen on social media where people are flying these things and deboning the breast and laying them flat? Have you seen this?
No.
Well,
so
spatchcocking, but that's you take out the spine, so it's kind of
Like a fillet? Or
Yeah,
opposite of that, or?
They're like a. I called it flying, but like a frog.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
So-
that's what I did.
yeah.
That's spatchcocking. right?
Spatchcocking,
Yeah.
and so apparently it like takes out you can cook the whole thing in like 2 or 3 hours at that point.
It's a lot faster.
A lot faster. But man, I've saved the video in my stream because I'm going to do it exactly how this dude did it. It looked amazing. I mean, even when he grabbed even the white meat, when he squeezed that stuff, it was
so
just
juicy.
super juicy especially with the butter infusion getting
Oh my
up
gosh, yeah.
underneath the skin.
Yeah.
So I want to do that with my Fanta infusion.
Nice.
So I do it a lot with it. I do the Fanta thing a lot with chickens, like whole chickens, putting it on a can. Like I will infuse the crap out of it, but then I will put it sitting on top of a can
Nice.
with Fanta in it. So it just kind of
So honestly,
Up
the
in
first
there.
thing that popped into my mind when you talked about marinating in Coca-Cola is, like, have you guys seen those videos where they use Coke to like derust like old nasty metal?
Yeah.
So like, I'm just thinking like, if that does that to rust, what's it going to do to animal protein?
I feel like his thing was that
But
it
so
just
it
it's
doesn't
juicier.
destroy the
It
bird,
doesn't.
absolutely.
Well, and it doesn't. You don't taste the Coke at all, but it did make it juicier. I noticed the difference between his and my grandmother's. Hers was a lot drier.
It's
than-
definitely a
than
thing.
Tom's.
I've heard of like the Coke braised like short ribs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, just like
So
brining
similar.
and like sugar versus salt. So I'm kind of curious, like at a cellular
Yeah.
level, like does the sugar do the same thing as salt?
I wonder. I don't know.
Like
I could see
obviously,
the
if
Fanta
it's
being
juicy,
good too.
yeah.
I mean, orange in general goes good with
Yeah.
poultry a lot. So.
Yeah.
Well, so my recipe is heavy citrus as well. I don't do anything super fancy. I got a Traeger, and Traeger has special like turkey pellets that actually have like rosemary like ground into the pellets. So like the smell of rosemary is just super intense when you're smoking. It is beautiful. But with that bag, you get a free brining kit, and it's like a citrus brine.
Okay.
And it is the best brine I have ever used with a turkey, like hands down, like 100%. I'm going to go buy like 10 of those brining kits because it was that good.
Wow.
Just, it's like, I don't know what's in it, but just like citrus with the turkey. I will never not brine a turkey like ever again.
Yeah.
Because brining is 100% the way to go.
I feel like, I don't want to like make this about other birds, but I feel like that's the secret power to goose too. I feel like that's just like,
Yeah, it
you
definitely
can't
helps,
go wrong if you have a problem with dry poultry. Brine seems to be like
That's the go-to.
one thing you can do to game change that.
Yeah.
Completely.
Yeah, be careful because you can definitely over brine it. You can get it way too salty, especially with birds like pheasant and ducks and geese. You're a little bit more lenient there, but like,
I think
any
that
kind of
goes.
white bird, you got
I
to
think
be
that goes back
cautious.
to us talking about take your time.
Yeah.
If you're going to do it,
Do the research.
Do it
Yeah.
right. Do the research. It does. I think the biggest thing that I always tell friends that struggle in the kitchen, there's no shame in having a video up on YouTube
Oh no.
or whatever while you're doing it, step by step. I mean, I make my bread all the time. I still pull up the recipe, even though I know it in my head. I still do it just to make sure that I'm not missing steps. Take
Dude,
the time.
sidetrack right here. Have we talked about VR headsets yet?
No.
Wow.
I don't know where you're
It's
going with
related.
this.
It's related. Let me promise you. But the whole like keeping the recipe at hand.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen the videos?
I have.
From like Apple's new like
Yeah.
VR headset. Like it's insane.
Oh,
Like,
the
you can-
$4,000 headset.
Yeah, they're stupid. I'll never buy one. But you can put these on, and you can literally
forever
you can literally like pin a recipe like
on the wall.
Yep.
in space.
Yep.
So you can have like a recipe, like a digital recipe pinned to your fridge while you're cooking, and like you can always just reference your recipe as you're actively cooking. Like I think that would be super sick.
Let me put my tinfoil hat on for a
cooking
second.
with
Get the
VR
tinfoil.
headset
How much radiation is that throwing through your
God.
brain?
straight into your eyeballs.
Right into your eyes. Direct line.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I guess I've
That's what I
already
think
talked
so.
about spatchcocking. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
dude,
and-
I'm a huge spatchcocking
I've never
fan.
done it before, so I'm really excited. And maybe that's just me being behind the times. But when it's like I watched his video, and then all of a sudden that was all my newsfeed, and I was like, "This looks amazing.
Yeah.
I'm
So
definitely going to do it."
if you guys don't have a good pair of kitchen game shears,
Yes.
Outdoor Edge sells a kit with game shears in it, and they've graciously given us a 20% off code. So use OKC20 to buy yourself a set of Outdoor Edge game shears. I tell you what, just ripping through those ribs and cutting the spine out of a turkey is so easy.
It
with
was
these
more
shears.
difficult than I thought it would be with my old dull kitchen shears.
Oh no,
I may need
no.
to pick
Get
up
some
a pair of
proper
those,
like
yeah.
wild game shears for sure.
Yeah.
And yeah, so what do you do? What do you do with your spine?
Yeah, so
Did you-
that's so I spatchcocked mine this year, first time. And as someone that's turned out some pretty bad turkeys in the past, 2 years ago I tried to smoke one, didn't know what I was doing at the time, and just dried the heck out of it. It was terrible.
With the brine or without?
Didn't brine it,
brine.
smoked it at a very high temperature, smoked it for way too long.
Looking like Christmas vacation.
yeah.
All the wrong things. Got him.
all the wrong things. But this year I did all the right things. So.
Yes.
Yeah, so I did not do anything with my spine to answer your question.
Okay.
Once I took it out, are you saying, do people save them for something, or?
Oh, I'm just curious what you did with yours.
Oh, I just threw it away.
So when I brine, I've got some food safe 5-gallon buckets. Put it in there, brine the turkey in the bucket. The neck goes in there, the spine goes in there. And when I smoke them, I just put them on the top rack, like right above the turkey.
Okay.
And all that extra turkey fat drippings just like drip down straight onto the turkey.
Oh, that's.
And then I've got a smoked neck and a smoked spine, like ready for like turkey stock. Or
Yeah, I was
last
gonna
time I
say
did,
stock.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely a stock pot, but definitely I did gravy with it as well. So after it came off the smoker, again I got my game shears. I chopped it up into little like the cut between the vertebrae, and just I put that in a skillet with some water, other random stuff, spices, whatnot.
That's a
Just
fantastic idea.
made some gravy with the smoked turkey spine.
Is
Like,
it-
oh my word!
Is
that
there
was
enough
good.
fat on that you could maybe get like a small thing of some turkey tallow?
That's a good question. I don't know. Maybe.
We'll find out next year.
Yeah, maybe. I've never thought about that. But
I've never thought to do that with turkey. I do that with roasted chickens a lot and make broth, but I don't. Yeah, it's a great idea. So thanks. I'm learning new stuff too. So
yes, for sure.
But yeah, I did the brine like you, Chris, and I will never
Brine is money.
brine turkey again.
100%.
I did a homemade one. I can't remember the recipe, but it was heavy citrus too. It was a lot of like apple and rosemary and stuff. But yeah, it was. I'll probably post a picture at some point here, but it was. It turned out fantastic. So
yeah. If you guys aren't brining your turkeys, do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Game. It'll make Andy like birds.
Yeah.
It's that good. Well, actually, on brining, so the guys from Upduck, another podcast on the network here, they had a talk with John Wallace, wild game cook, and he's got a Chick-fil-A wannabe recipe where he brines his pheasant's chicken in pickle juice. And so the pickle juice, like just straight, I forget if it's like dill or whatever, what kind of pickle it is, I don't know. But just pickle juice, put your bird in it, brine it for 24 hours, and then cook it. I don't have details on the cooking outside of that, but I'm real curious what like a pickled juice turkey would taste like. Like how would that come out? Like a Chick-fil-A style Thanksgiving turkey.
Good.
Like
That would be awesome.
crazy. So Upduck, if you're listening, get like 12 cans of pickles and brine a turkey and tell us how that goes. Because I don't know if I can sacrifice and not use my Traeger citrus brine and do it. I guess I can get a bonus turkey from BJ's.
And so you can do that, or
Pickle brine my bonus turkey.
what's the little dudes?
Like little chickens.
Well, like
Like a
the
quail or
yeah.
No, you can go like what do they call it? Little game chicken. Like they're like this big.
It starts with a P,
Quail?
right?
pheasant.
We're not talking about. It's a chicken, but they're Cornish.
Cornish hens.
Game hen.
Cornish.
Okay.
Cornish hen.
We're gonna eventually we're gonna have a whole reel of Andy thumbing, just
What's this
thinking
word?
through
Yep.
what's this word.
So here's something, because I know they're not listening to this podcast because they're not those people. I plan on pranking some friends this year at our friends' Thanksgiving, and I'm going to stuff a Cornish hen and a turkey,
I've heard of this.
and I'm going to video it
I've heard
and
this.
see how it goes, because the two people that I plan on doing that to
No.
are the most gullible people on the face of this planet. So,
But what are you gonna say? Well, like when they
It's
find
a
the
baby.
hen?
It's a baby.
oh, it's
pregnant.
absolutely, it's pregnant. we
Oh, that's terrible.
Oh man.
That's terrible.
Love it.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So I saw another reel of, a father pranking a daughter, and they're like pulling apart the turkey, like starting the the cooking process, and she pulled out the neck, and she's like, "What is this, Dad?" And the dad was like, "Well, that's a boy turkey," and you can kind of draw those lines in your head, and she just lost it. She lost it, but dude, that was like the funniest reaction I've ever seen.
Why, since we're on this, what's your favorite Thanksgiving movie?
Oh, geez, a movie?
There's only one that comes to mind, and it's the greatest.
Man, I don't know. I don't really have any Thanksgiving classics. outside of The
Son-in-Law
Parade.
with Pauly Shore.
I don't think I've seen it.
Gotta get it.
Really?
It's $3 on Amazon Prime. Get it. It's one of Pauly.
Son-in-law. Okay.
It's one of Pauly Shore's greats.
I am a Pauly Shore fan. Like,
I-
did he do Biodome?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
Okay. So I know who.
dude,
I don't know
it's-
too many actors.
Colton's
but
like,
I don't know
and
any
I'm
of
younger
these."
than you.
Listen, it's awesome. If you have
Okay.
Amazon Prime, text me and I can share it with you.
Nice.
If you don't want to spend the $3, because I
Okay.
own it. It's one of my favorites.
Son-in-law.
It's awesome.
Yeah. Honestly, so I'm kind of the Thanksgiving cook in the family. So like all Thanksgiving, I'm just like, I'm the one in the kitchen. I'm doing it all. And my wife typically like finds Harry Potter on some channel, and so she's like watching Harry Potter when she's not helping out. Now we got the kids, so it's probably going to be Paw Patrol or something like that. But
Yeah.
yeah, we'll have to check that out. Other cooking methods. Where are we going to go from here? So we discussed, the brining, rubs. What are you guys doing rub-wise? Did you?
I haven't found one yet. I tend to just use something citrusy, like you said, but
Yeah.
I don't have one that I'm necessarily in love with. I don't know. What about you guys?
There is one. I wish I would have brought it and remembered the name. There is, maybe I can add it to something later. Kroger actually has one that is like a chipotle citrus dry rub. Man, that is phenomenal for poultry. And I've actually started using it even on other things because it's amazing. I mean, you get the citrus at the start, and then that chipotle spicy just starts to build on the back end of it. Man, it's good, and it's very bright in taste. It livens it up.
Nice, yeah. Well, Meat Eater's got a good, is it like maple citrus? Like their duck seasoning is pretty solid. But also, so we've talked about Fire and Smoke Society a lot. Our friend Ryan, he does a ton of smoking. He uses Superbird on chickens, and I imagine that'd transfer over to turkey really, really well.
That would be a good one on there. I actually just tried that. He was showing it to me the other day. So
I've eaten his Superbird cooks, but I haven't purchased it and used it myself. But anything from Ryan is like spectacular. So I trust him. It's got Fire and Smoke Society Superbird. Like I'm curious to give that a go. Again, my Traeger rub brine, like it comes as that kit. So like it's good. It's a citrus rub in the brine, and it's just oh my gosh, I can't stop talking about it. Traeger, if you're listening, send me some rubs. send me the brines.
And I'll take a grill while we're at it.
Done.
For me.
Yep.
Yes. Trade.
That's the thing. I feel so left behind sometimes with you guys because I don't have a smoker.
I have one that holds
You
beer
got a
really well.
Weber. You can smoke stuff on your Weber.
Yeah, but my Weber's like this big.
Doesn't matter.
You can do it.
I know. I
Do the snake
I was
method?
looking.
Snake method,
I was
yeah.
looking
Yeah.
up some ways to do it. Like I literally have like one of those travel. That's my charcoal.
You get the
grill,
man
like a
candle.
Travel.
Get the man candle.
That's what I was looking at doing for those.
Throwback to episode 2.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I did
Get
get
the
my
man
trays
candle.
though. My curing trays.
Nice. Yeah, that's a game changer for sure.
I bought a lot of things off that episode. So if you haven't
Gear
gone back,
episode.
listen to the gear episode.
Yes.
Get your Amazon account ready.
I mean, I sent you guys the picture. I bought a whole sous vide
yes,
system.
you did.
We need
That's
to talk about
right.
that, yeah.
Exciting.
I didn't. I mean, I didn't go and spend all of the money. You know, I got the.
You
I
got,
did,
you got this. Yeah, that's all you need. You got the tub too.
I got the tub too.
That's
But
game
I did
changer.
get your. I did get the Innova small.
Oh, nice.
And it comes with 10 bags.
Yeah.
Reusable bags.
Little
so.
it's like a mini travel sized
Yeah.
vaccine.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to get on the sous vide train.
Yeah. So I mean, so sous videing turkey. I mean wild turkey legs. Like I'd be shocked if Jesse didn't have like a sous vide wild turkey leg recipe. Like because that'd be
That'd be
stellar
interesting,
use.
yeah.
Great opportunity
For your
to
sous vide.
break it down.
I will say I think I overdid it, to be honest.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was 134 degrees for the steak, and it said an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Jess will not touch anything that is not well done.
Oh, no.
So I was like, I'm gonna put in an hour and 10 just to do it.
It'll always come out at 134 degrees.
I know,
No matter how
and
long it's in there.
I know.
It'd
and
just be more tender. Yeah. The
it's-
longer it's in there.
I think maybe my sear was too long.
That could be.
Cooked through.
They
but
did look fairly thin. So
yeah,
like, cooking
they were
the sear.
thinner. Yeah, maybe my
The sear could have done
sear
it.
was, but it was still good. But I think sous vide and some turkey would be interesting.
100% the way to go. That'd be stellar. Do you guys use oven bags?
No.
We'll transition back to turkey here. Oven bags for your turkey?
Never used one.
Really?
Mm-mm.
So pre-smoker, like that's all I did. Turkey inside the oven bag, and I would just load it with apples and onions and sage, and oh my gosh.
Is that any different than using like a covered roasting pan?
I imagine it'd be pretty similar.
Okay.
Because the oven bag puffs up. It's kind of designed to like all that steam and moisture coming off the turkey, like it's just going to
Keeps it all
collect that.
together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like retain that moisture at least in the package. But yeah, I'm a big oven bag fan. If you don't have a smoker, if you don't brine, and this was like pre-brining. Like I would never brine my turkeys, so
Okay.
like it just like that apple onion flavor on the bird. Like oh gosh, that was so good. Huge fan of that. Just tons of butter on the skin, and man, always
You
keep
get
it great.
up underneath the skin
Mhm.
between the
Yeah.
meat and the
Let's
skin.
talk about tons of butter because I have a really fun story from a Friendsgiving scenario that I think you guys will like.
Yeah.
A friend of mine liked to do Friendsgiving and she liked to host and they did a turkey. Now I don't know if it's her first time she's ever done a turkey, but it was the first time I think she was fully in charge of doing the turkey.
Oh, no.
And she misread the recipe she was working with, and she put something like 8 sticks of butter. She thought, I don't even know how she got, and to this day, it still gets brought up constantly about the use of butter with her cooking. But like it was extremely buttery.
It was probably tasty.
It was very tasty. But it had like no joke. She read it and she's like, I guess I have to go to the store and buy 8 sticks of butter.
I'm
But
just trying to picture what that
literally
would
made it
taste
with
like.
8 sticks of butter.
Dude, the gravy from that turkey. Oh
Yeah.
my!
Yeah,
It was
that
literally just
amazing.
the whole bottom of that pan with the shell of the bag
Just
and
all
everything was just butter.
Yes, I love it.
I mean, I put a whole stick of butter in my.
I'll do
mashed
one stick,
potatoes.
yeah.
What, 8?
but not 8. No.
No, that's a lot. That's a lot.
Gee
Butter
whiz.
makes everything better.
It does.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, Colton, you've got some notes here on some other preparations. Hit us with some of that.
So I haven't actually done this on a wild turkey since I've never gotten one, but I've heard it should be good. I've done it with
It should
chicken.
be good.
I've done it with chicken, so I imagine it'll be good. but-
I might go on the record here and say pretty much anything you do with chicken, you can do with turkey. Do you guys agree, disagree? What do you think? Just as far as like the
Broad stroke statement.
as far as
Yeah.
the type of meat, it's a white meat,
Mhm.
it's a bird,
Yeah.
it's gonna
Low and
cook
slow.
about the same, like
yeah.
not
I mean,
including
if you have a
size.
recipe you like that's made with chicken breast,
Yeah.
turkey breast would that probably be fine.
yeah
Yep.
yeah
So
alter it for the size of the bird, of course, but yeah.
The general
Flavor-wise.
rule I've always heard with cuts of meat like this is low and slow or hot and fast. This is definitely the hot and fast method. It's called schnitzel. It's
Okay.
a German dish. I think I said that right.
You did.
But
It's just fun. It's just
It's
fun to hear
you
and
say
say.
it.
Say it again.
Schnitzel.
Yeah. It's pretty much you can use it with any type of meat. You just pound your meat real thin, egg.
We're all
Children.
Insert,
I was
insert
like-
various jokes
I was like,
there, but-
he said schnitzel, and all I could think of was a penis joke.
Pounding
And then
the real thing.
he goes with pound your meat, and now we're children.
But yeah, pound it real thin, bread it, and then fry it. And a little lemon juice on
yeah.
top. Serve it with some greens, and it's fantastic. I've done it with a couple different things. So
It sounds awesome.
traditionally, it's a German thing. Was done with veal, beef, pork in Germany, and then people got the idea for chicken and turkey because I'm looking at my notes here because I'm going to say it wrong, but so it's brought from Europe to Israel by the Ashkenazi Jews, and
Correct.
they did not eat beef. Veal wasn't as prevalent, religious reasons, etc., and used it for chicken and turkey in a substitute, and then that kind of became almost more popular in a way. So I think Meat Eater has a recipe.
They do.
Yep.
This is a big Steve Ranella thing.
Big Steve Ranella thing. I've seen a couple other cooks do it, so I've been dying to try it on wild turkey if I get one. But
Yeah.
I also did it this past year with venison,
Okay.
and it was reminiscent of like for those of you that aren't in Indiana, maybe don't know, but
Here we
Indiana
go.
tenderloin.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
I can see that. Yeah.
Okay.
So it was I did it with venison, and my family was in town for Thanksgiving, and it was kind of I had a little bit left over, so I just did a couple, and everyone was like, "Wow, you need
Nice.
to do this more often."
So what else goes into this dish? Like, what is it? I'm
That's
picturing it like sitting on top of like a thing of mashed potatoes, like Corey was saying with the Manhattans, or
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, serve it with
what are your
whatever.
sides?
I
Whatever you
just
want.
Eat it by itself. but
Colton just eats his turkey.
That sounds like it would be a good sandwich.
breaded, fried, and a little lemon.
tenderloin.
Yeah, sandwich,
Tenderloin.
greens, some sort of green bean next to it, some mashed potatoes would be probably fine with it too.
Yeah. Dude, what if you did like your crispy, like smashed crispy mashed potatoes with your
Ooh.
schnitzel on top of that?
That's a lot of fried, though.
It's a lot of fried.
That's a lot of fried.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll hit the fitness tomorrow. Yeah, nice. Any other thoughts here before we dip into the recipe of the week? And you guys good to go?
No, I love the idea. The schnitzel idea, I think, is something I want to try just in general with chicken too. I think it'd be another
Yeah.
fun way to we eat a lot of chicken, so to liven up that meal.
Yeah.
We do a lot of grilled chicken. Almost, it makes the rotation every week for Krista. This would be a fun way to maybe grab one of the pieces that we're gonna just grill anyway and give this a go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess one last thing. You can't talk about turkey and not mention chili. A lot of us do turkey chili here. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't done that yet.
Do you have
I'm
any turkey
not-
chili?
I'm not no, I'm not. I'm not knocking it. I just haven't tried it myself. And
And here's the thing.
I'm a
it's,
fan.
it's
it's
hard to not
maybe-
do red meat, like in my mind, my chili.
Yeah, it's fair. My sisters, my wife's sister makes a really good turkey chili though. And before I had hers, I wasn't a big fan, but it's great. But it's a little bit of a cop out. But anything that's tough, if you grind it and put it in chili, it's going to turn out good.
That's correct.
Yeah.
So let's do somebody that has too many turkeys on their hands. Let's do a wild turkey chili. See how that comes out. What if you took your turkey legs and just threw them in your chili whole and like braised your wild turkey legs in your chili? Would that work out?
And then almost
Jesse, I know you're listening. How would that come out?
I know that we're making your weekly rotation.
Yes.
you could almost do those in like a white chicken chili, but turkey.
Wild
like shredded
white turkey chili.
Shredded wild turkey.
Now we're talking.
Get some wild rice in there.
Yeah.
Hey,
Did we just invent a recipe? Guys, who's writing this
People
down?
are listening like, no, this is
This is a terrible idea.
No idiots. This is already. In the book.
I would try it. Again, if I get a turkey, I'll take one of the legs and we'll experiment with this.
We'll all get a turkey this year, and we'll all contribute.
So we'll have
donate
eight legs to play with. Yeah.
Donate a leg to each recipe.
One leg to the cause. All right. Let's get into actual solid, legit, good recipes here. You all have tried this. It's from Chef Neal Brown, and I'm going to look him up on Instagram real quick so you guys can follow along. He does a really cool newsletter. I believe it's called Knives Out, I think is his newsletter. He's Neal, Neal Brown, Neal J. Brown on Instagram. Definitely follow him. He just does like a lot of really cool, just like random stuff in his kitchen, and he's always talking about doing some cool food. He's a rad dude. I love him. He gave us this turkey recipe, and I think it's super cool. So again, his is kind of a citrus-based brine, and so you're going to take 1 tablespoon kosher salt, a half tablespoon sugar, the zest of 3 whole oranges, 3 cloves of garlic, 1 tablespoon onion powder, and 1 teaspoon annetto powder. And I'll be honest, I do not know what that is.
I was just about to ask, what is that?
Google it. I did not use that in my brine, and it came out okay. Sorry, Neal. He recommends using ANNOTO, annetto powder. Yeah, Google it, see what it is. Put it all in a blender and blend until it's rough but dryish. Put that on your turkey and get it all in the crevices and all that. Put it in a freezer bag and refrigerate your turkey overnight with this brine on top of it. The next day, what he says, sear over medium heat. He's kind of a chef, so he's assuming that we know all these things. So what I did with mine, let's just skip that whole next day, sear over medium heat, because I don't really know what that's referring to. Sorry, Neal. But the braise is what's coming up here next. And that's what I did with mine. So I did turkey legs with this recipe. The braise is 2 cups of water, 1 medium white onion, thinly sliced, half an orange cut into 2 pieces, a 1/4 cup pork lard or vegetable oil, 8 garlic cloves peeled, 3 bay leaves, 1 tablespoon sweetened condensed milk, an odd ingredient, but like it worked.
Yeah.
It was good. 2 teaspoons dried oregano, preferably Mexican oregano, crumbled, a tablespoon of kosher salt, and just chuck your legs in there until they're tender. I can't recall how long that took. A few hours probably, but just cook them until they're tender. Pull the meat off the legs, separate your tendons, and put them on tacos, just a taco shell, and drizzle some of that braising liquid on top of the legs.
That's what we had.
And what episode was that we were talking about clowns? Corn versus flour tortilla shells.
That would have been the browning.
The meat
that
browning.
that was my taco.
So we were very pro corn.
Very pro corn.
Neal,
Is this who we were talking to on Instagram?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Neal is very pro flour.
He was.
And he said
He had some
adamant.
valid points.
He said, "Oh yeah, it's an impossible decision. You can't like choose one or the other."
Well,
But
certain ones go with different
absolutely
proteins and stuff too.
But that's
For this dish, I could see where flour would hold up better.
and he specifically said use flour with this dish. So
Yeah, I don't think the corn wouldn't hold up.
It's going to fall apart.
Yeah.
it'd be tricky. But so that was Neal's recipe. On top of that, I threw on some fresh cilantro. I did some pickled red onions, and that just took it home. But solid recipe. This recipe will be in the show notes. I kind of muddled through some of that, but yeah, Chef Neal Brown's citrus dry brine, and
check him out.
I don't know what he calls.
Tortillas.
I don't know what he calls this recipe. Like, it's just like a braised turkey leg. Like, there's got to be some like legit cool chef's name for this dish. It's a turkey leg taco.
Neal, reach out on Instagram.
Yeah,
and
tell us
what it is.
he'll tell us what I forgot.
He already told me I was wrong.
Remind me what you already told me, Neal, about your turkey recipe. But thank you so much for sharing this, Neal. Thank you. Super cool guy. If you're ever in Fishers, Indiana, hit up the Fishers Test Kitchen. Like, some really, really cool kitchen restaurants. Kind of like incubating in that space.
They do a lot of cool events there.
Yeah,
too.
yeah. So get a taste of Indiana at the Fishers Test Kitchen. So with that, let's get out of here. See y'all next week.
Well played.
Good luck in the turkey woods.
I need another cup of coffee.
Did you ever get one?
Oh yeah. Okay.